just set my timer going on my phone so I don't overrun. Rob, thank you very much. You've done you and everyone who's helped you have done an amazing job here, obviously. And as I said in the Facebook group, I was sorry not to be able to join you for most of it, but unfortunately, I had fortunately, I guess, I had a long-standing social engagement which involved lots of travel and things. So. Yes, 10 minutes. Wow, what can one do in 10 minutes? I thought about this, and I thought actually 10 minutes is probably should be long enough for anyone to do a talk. So I'll be thinking of proposing this to the IATEFL board soon, that all talks should be 10 minutes. I think if you can't get your idea across in 10 minutes, then you probably shouldn't be speaking. So I've chosen a dark, rainy, cloudy kind of theme for my slides because we're sliding into autumn here in the UK, and the nights are drawing in, the weather's getting a bit rubbish, so I thought I'd stick with that theme. So what I'm going to do is very quickly take you through 8 reasons why mobile learning is actually quite a good idea, or at least I hope I'm going to. So, my fonts didn't come out. How annoying is that? Hey ho. All right, so there you go. The first reason, and that should have been a lovely picture of a Visa credit card, is financial. And that is that mobile is probably the first and only technology so far that has made any sense to institutions financially. Most institutions can't afford to, well, a lot of institutions can't afford to buy technology at all. Those that can afford to buy it find it very hard to keep up and renew that technology on a regular basis, whereas coming into their classrooms, and this counts not only for developed countries but also developing economies and developed countries, lots and lots of people, predominantly the great majority of people coming into class have a mobile phone of some sort. It doesn't have to be an amazing phone, but they will have a mobile phone of some sort, and that means that there's this great, powerful technology coming into class. It's constantly updated, and it's just sitting there waiting for us to use. So the first reason is financial. Just imagine that yellow square is a Visa card, and I'm now going to ask you to imagine that the next yellow square is a group of happy people. The second reason that mobile learning is quite a good idea is that it's one of the most easy technologies to implement in class. People know how their mobile phones work. You know how yours works, more or less. There's very little technical support needed. But more importantly, I think this is the big one. It's the least disruptive technology that we've ever had in our classes. Now, lots of teachers will tell you that it's a very disruptive technology because people are always on Facebook and things like that. But when you take when you're in class and you ask students to take their mobile phones and put them upside down on their desks in front of them, that technology, those machines effectively disappear and put you back in control, but also open up that space for more traditional communicative activities. And that it's the only technology that's not disruptive. Try doing that with laptops. Closing them down, closing the lids, turning them off. Turn off a Windows laptop and it'll be the end of the class before it's rebooted again. So I don't believe the argument that mobile's disruptive. It's not disruptive at all. It's the least disruptive technology we've ever had in our classes. Okay, you ready to do some imagining again? We're imagining now that this is a thumbs up image. Okay, and it's about motivation. It's a very motivating thing. People are asked to use the machine that they're used to using, the one that is part of their social life. It's the part of the very fabric of their lives outside the classroom, and asking them to use them in class, bringing them into class, is a thoroughly motivating thing to do. Okay, we're almost halfway there. Blimey, that goes quickly. Okay. Now, the next image shows you a linked chain, and that's to do with the connection that mobile phones can make between what happens in our classes and what happens outside of our classes. We, in our profession, we tend to keep people in classrooms. We make them very artificial zones. They're odd places. But if you're doing some kind of blended learning and they're doing learning on their mobile phones, then that learning goes with them. Don't worry, Francis, it's the little yellow boxes that should be icons, but WizIQ unfortunately hasn't rendered them, so I'm just on the hoof, just describing those squares to you. So, yes, mobile phones, when people do work on mobile phones, that work goes with them everywhere. It goes with it. It may start in the classroom and it may finish at home. It may start at home and finish in the classroom, but where they take their mobile phones, their learning is always with them. And that is a great, great thing too, something that no other technology can really do. Okay, you ready to imagine the next one? The next one is, it's a piece of text. And I'm going to talk, oh really? Okay, never mind, don't worry about it. I should have sent you images maybe. I'll talk a little bit about the affordances of phones. One of the great misconceptions about mobile learning is that you need a smartphone, that it's got to be the latest gadget, that it has to be connected to the internet all the time, things like that. In actual fact, you can do an awful lot with the most basic of phones produced in the last 4, 5, 6 years. I'm just going to look at 3 or 4 of those things. The first is text. You can have people work with text. You can have people sending each other text messages. You can work on new genres of English through text, things like chat, which lots of people will go on to use in corporate environments. You can work with email, which is a particular genre of English. What does an email job application letter look like, for example? So on a very simple basis, we can work with text, and that works on any phone. Moving on to the next icon you have to imagine, which is a camera. Another thing that all mobile phones do is take pictures. You can take photographs on mobile phones that are, again, 5, 6, 7, even 8 or 9 years old. What can you use those for? Well, they're great data gatherers. Photographs are great ways of gathering data. So getting students to collect vocabulary, for example, on the way to class. 6 photographs connected to the theme of water, or 6 connected to the theme of transport, that kind of thing. When they invest personally in those photos, they're going to have a lot more investment in the whole success of the class. Okay, the next square has a microphone. Another thing that all mobile phones do will allow you to record, and recording students is an absolutely fabulous thing to do. We don't do too much of this, and we often get students to listen to things, but we don't actually record them ourselves. And getting people to record themselves and sharing those recordings in class or online, using them as sources of error correction, is an absolutely fabulous way of collecting and analyzing language, and it's in exposure to those large quantities of language that people can really notice things about that language. And the last picture that you'll need to imagine there is a picture of a video camera. The other thing that most mobile phones built in the last few years will do is capture video. And again, this is a great way of collecting language, analyzing it, working with it, error correction, fluency, and pronunciation. Absolutely, Helene, I think that's a great point. Mobiles are everywhere. Using them makes an awful lot of sense. And using the basic affordances, I'm absolutely bored to death with 16 apps for writing and 28 apps for critical thinking and 58 apps for making a funny photograph of yourself. I think we need to go back to basics here and look at the things that teachers need to do in class, working with vocabulary, working with fluency and pronunciation. All of these things can be done fabulously on mobile phones. Forget the apps, forget the glitz, throw away your interactive whiteboards, concentrate on what's coming into your class and use that properly. That would be my advice. That's why I think, and those are my 8 reasons why mobile learning is such a great idea. I'm kind of done now, so that's good, and I'm 40 seconds early, which is even better. Those are my contact details. I'll try and upload the slides with a good image on each slide, so you can see my lovely little icons later. Thank you all very, very much for being here, and thanks once again, Rob. I think you've done an amazing job organising this, and something that I don't think I could have managed. So I doff my invisible hat to you, and good luck with the last remaining talks. I'll do a little tap dance for you.
Yeah, you can sing. Anything else?
I'm done.